Have you ever caught yourself thinking that someone else's life seems brighter, more successful, or happier than yours? It's like you're running a marathon, and someone else is already celebrating at the finish line with champagne in hand. And in that moment, a voice inside whispers, "You're not good enough. You're falling behind." That whisper is your inner critic, and it's stealing your energy. But here's the secret. You can turn this game in your favor. Want to know how to stop comparing yourself to others and channel that energy into creating a life you're proud of? Then stick around until the end. I'll walk you through it step by step, and you'll feel like you can start living differently today. Comparing yourself to others is like peering into someone else's windows while your own home waits for you to make it beautiful. We all do it. We scroll through social media, see someone's perfect photos, their achievements, their careers, and suddenly our own life feels kind of dull. This triggers your inner critic, that voice that says, "You're not measuring up. You'll never be that good. You're not smart enough, attractive enough, talented enough." And the worst part, that voice is so convincing that we start to believe it. It steals our confidence, our joy, and the energy we could be using for something truly important. But here's the good news. Comparison isn't the enemy. It's energy, like wind in a sail. Instead of letting it drown you in doubt, you can use it to fuel your growth, your goals, your unique story. And that inner critic? You can tame it. It won't disappear completely. Let's be real, it's part of us. But you can turn it into an ally instead of a critic. How? Let's break down what happens when we compare ourselves to others and how to turn that habit into fuel for your best life. 11. Why do we compare ourselves to others? Comparison is natural. Our brains are wired to constantly assess where we stand relative to others. It helped our ancestors survive, to figure out who was stronger, faster, smarter. But in today's world, where we're bombarded with hundreds of perfect lives on social media, this instinct often works against us. Every time we think, "I'm not as good," our inner critic gets a boost. That voice doesn't just criticize, it distorts reality. It makes us focus on what we don't have instead of noticing what we already do. It says, "Look, their life is better." And we forget that everyone has their own path, with their own highs and lows. But here's the thing. Comparison can be a vitamin, not a poison. If you learn to use it right, it'll push you to take action instead of wallowing in self-criticism. And that inner critic, you can reprogram it to help you grow instead of holding you back. How does the energy of comparison work? When you see someone who's achieved something amazing, a spark ignites inside you. It might be envy, inspiration, or even a bit of frustration. That spark is pure energy. It's like electricity. You can use it to light a bulb, your goals, or let it shock you, self-criticism and devaluation. The problem is, we often choose the latter. We think, "I'll never be able to do that," and the energy fizzles out. But what if you said instead, "Wow, that's possible. What can I do to move in that direction?" Comparison only becomes a problem when we get stuck in it, when we look at others and only see our own shortcomings. But if you learn to shift your focus from "I'm not good enough" to "I can do this," that energy becomes your engine. And your inner critic? It stops being an enemy the moment you start asking it the right questions. Not, "Why am I not like them?" but, "What can I learn from this for myself?" How do you tame your inner critic? To stop drowning in comparisons and make your inner critic a helper, you need to rewire your thinking. It's not about turning off comparison. That's impossible. It's about using it wisely. Here are 7 practical steps to help you do it. They're simple, but take practice. If you start applying them, you'll notice your energy coming back, and that critical voice will get quieter. Step 1. Notice the moment of comparison. When you catch yourself thinking, "They're better than me," pause. Just acknowledge it. "Oh, I'm comparing again." Don't beat yourself up. It's normal. The key is to notice. Take a deep breath and tell yourself, "Okay, I see it. It's like catching a ball mid-air. You take control of the moment. Try this tonight. Scroll through social media and count how many times you start comparing yourself to others. Just observe. No judgment. Step 2. Shift the focus to yourself. When you notice comparison, ask yourself, what am I feeling? What do I want? Maybe you saw someone's success and want something similar. That's not about them. It's about you. Write it down on paper or in your phone notes. I want to insert your desire. For example, I want to travel more, or I want to speak confidently in public. That's your beacon. Now you know where to aim. Step 3. Celebrate your steps. Your inner critic loves to say, your achievements don't matter. Don't listen. Every evening, take 5 minutes to write down 3 things you did well that day. 31. It could be anything. I finished a task at work. I smiled at a stranger. Step 3. Celebrate your steps. Your inner critic loves to say, your achievements don't matter. Don't listen. Every evening, take 5 minutes to write down 3 things you did well that day. It could be anything. I finished a task at work. I smiled at a stranger. I tried a new recipe. These small wins are your fuel. They remind you that you're already moving forward, even if it feels like you're not enough. Step 4. Use others' success as inspiration. When you see someone's achievement, instead of thinking, I'm not as good, ask, what did they do to get there? If someone ran a marathon, think, maybe they trained in the mornings. Could I start with walks? Write down one idea you can borrow from them and take the first step. For example, if you're inspired by someone's business, start reading a book on entrepreneurship or sign up for a webinar. This turns envy into action. Step 5. Create your reality filter. Social media is a highlight reel, not real life. When you see perfect photos, remind yourself, this is just part of the picture. Try this trick. Pick someone whose life seems perfect and think about what challenges they might face. Not to diminish them, but to remind yourself, everyone has their struggles. Write on a sticky note, everyone has their own path, and stick it on your laptop or mirror. That's your filter to stay grounded in your own story. Step 6. Focus on your uniqueness. You're not someone else. You have your own strengths, your own style, your own story. Grab a piece of paper and write down 5 things that make you special. Maybe you're an amazing listener or great at finding humor in any situation. Whenever your inner critic starts saying, you're not like them, reread that list. That's your superpower, and no one can replicate it. Step 7. Take small steps. Comparison becomes fuel only when you act. Pick one goal that inspires you, maybe improving your health, starting a project, or learning something new. Break it into tiny steps. Want to run? Start with a 10-minute walk. Want to write a book? Write 100 words a day. Every step is a victory over your inner critic. Plan your first step for tomorrow and do it, no matter how small it seems. Why does this work? These steps help you take the energy from comparison and redirect it toward yourself. You stop wasting energy on self-criticism and start using it for growth. Your inner critic gets quieter because you give it fewer reasons to speak. You start seeing your strengths, your progress, your unique path. And the best part? You feel like you're in control of your life, not just drifting while watching others. What will you gain if you start now? If you apply these steps, you'll feel your energy return. You'll stop wasting it on pointless comparisons and start investing it in what makes you happy. You'll notice your inner critic isn't shouting as loudly, and sometimes it even cheers you on. Hey, you're doing great. Keep going. You'll start seeing possibilities where you once saw only your flaws. And most importantly, you'll feel like your life belongs to you, not to someone else's expectations or social media images. One final touch. You're already enough. Comparison and your inner critic aren't enemies. They're signs you want to grow. They show you care and want more. That's awesome. You're already on the path just by watching this and thinking about how to make your life better. Start small. Pick one of the 7 steps and do it today. Maybe write down your 3 daily wins or think about what makes you unique. Every step is your answer to that inner critic. I'm moving forward and I don't need to be anyone else. So, go for it. Light your spark. Channel the energy of comparison into creating a life that inspires you. You already know how to do it. Just start, and you'll see how far you can go.